Fishing is always interesting, even without biting. Sitting on the riverbank, you enjoy silence and landscape. And if you're lucky with the catch, you can cook delicious fish soup right there. But you may sometimes find in the fish something you do not expect. Every year, about a ton of cigarette butts are thrown away around the world. 19% of this litter goes a long way from sidewalks, through sewers, to the water and beaches. It pollutes the water with toxins and often ends up in the stomachs of fish or marine animals. But what was the situation caused by? Is the material the cigarette filter is made of created only for the addictive habit? It is certainly not. In 1910, brothers Dreyfus, chemists from Switzerland, faced an important task to create a new heat-resistant material for film. In the course of the experiment, cotton was treated with acetic acid salts to get a polymer material called cellulose acetate. Soft and elastic, light and resilient, it was fireproof, almost did not absorb moisture, and held the shape well. The inventors got more than they expected. For example, due to the refractory properties, cellulose acetate was used in coatings for airplane wings and fuselage and fuel tanks. Today, spectacle frames, adhesive tapes, printing materials, and acetate fabrics are made from it. The acetate fiber reached peak of popularity in the 1960s when the clothes were made from the material, and the capability of the material to dry quickly made it indispensable in the manufacture of umbrellas and bathing suits. Absorbent properties of cellulose acetate were useful in the development of membrane filters for water purification. A cigarette filter, also made of cellulose acetate in 1950, works under the same principle. Prior to that, cigarettes used to be made without filter since the question of the dangers of smoking was not sufficiently studied. Physicians even recommended soldiers to smoke tobacco as a sedative. And the advertising slogan in one of the tobacco campaigns, "Take a cigarette instead of a candy," convinced many women that smoking helps lose weight. But when information about the dangers of cigarette smoking became apparent, the tobacco manufacturers immediately introduced a filter. We were told that it prevents nicotine, tar, and particles of soot from getting into lungs. Whether it is true is not known for sure. The production of the filter was simple and cheap. Acetate fiber is divided into thin threads by air flows in special machines. The air makes the threads fluffy to increase the density and the effect of filtration. The finished material is rolled into a corrugated filter, wrapped in very thin paper called cellulose, and then attached to a cigarette. Having reached the productive filter, the smokers return to their habit without worries. But what has that resulted in? Cigarette filter may retain some of the harmful substances, but smokers compensate for this protection by inhaling the smoke deeper, which causes them even more harm. Anyway, a healthy lifestyle is a personal choice for every adult. But what about the environment, which is forced to pay for the people's addictions? Annually, about 4,500 million cigarette butts miss litter bins. Clogged city drains, sidewalks, and especially beaches entail an ecological catastrophe, which cannot be tolerated. The entire world community is concerned about the problem of cleaning the planet of cigarette litter. For convenience, ashtrays were invented in case there are no bins nearby. The Netherlands are developing a completely new and very unusual way of cleaning city streets and parks. Crows are taught to pick up cigarette filters thrown to the ground and exchange them for food in special machines. There is another proposal from experts of a biotech laboratory to make filters on the basis of starch. Then they are quickly decomposed by microorganisms. Both innovative solutions are still under development. The Canadian city of Vancouver has installed special containers for recycling cigarette butts. Cellulose acetate from the filters of smoked cigarettes is used in the production of loading pallets, plastic building materials, and ashtrays. An innovative technology for recycling the filters into insulation for living spaces has been developed in London. Thanks to the possibility to process cigarette garbage into useful materials, humanity prevents an ecological catastrophe and saves resources on the earth. The purpose of any material is to make our life better and more comfortable, but very quickly the good may result in unpleasant surprises, such as cigarette butts in canned fish or the extinction of a whole species of marine animals. And it is all because of the harmful habit of humanity to leave everywhere traces of their life. Maybe it is time to put an end to this and start cleaning up after yourself? At least in order to enjoy fishing or sunbathing on the beach without getting bogged down in cigarette litter.